Hi, this is Earl Haddon with Money Mountain Systems, and this is our first edition of Biz Bites, a 15-minute video which we're going to do every Wednesday at 12:30 to give you some ideas about how you might apply systems to your business and to help you manage growth and avoid some of the pitfalls that other people have experienced. Today's topic is, what is a system and why should I care? Now, large companies have been using systems for a long time. In fact, we did a project with American Express back in my corporate consulting days, and they had defined over 1,000 unique systems in their travel-related services business. Most small businesses have one or two that they do well, and our goal is to help them identify where else they might need systems and how they might need to improve the ones that they have that they're already using. One of our colleagues, Elizabeth Galprin, gave us a definition of a system, and she says it's something that has been defined, documented, and implemented to help you with your business. So if we look at a system, the basic description is that it's a set of activities that lead to a result. Easy enough, right? Well, let's think about it for a minute about some of the things that might not be working out as well as we expect. First, we might not have defined what our results are. Our results for our big, hairy, audacious goal or for our one-year goal might be fairly well defined, or at least we have them in our head. But the number of things we need to do, say on a weekly basis, like the number of people we need to talk to in our existing customer base, or the number of potential customers we need to get into our community. We need to think about those results and be very specific. The second thing is that we might have the wrong activities. And so we need to think through, okay, are we doing the right steps? Doing the wrong steps but doing them extremely well still won't get you the results you want. Another thing might be that we have inputs that, like our community, our prospects, and we might have the wrong people in the pool. We might have a definition. You've probably all heard the expression, your ideal client. We might have the wrong definition for our ideal client. So these are all things that can go wrong with the system. And we need to have a framework for improving our performance and a framework for eliminating these fairly common mistakes. So in terms of defining our system, we want to make sure that we have a good view of the activities and the results that we want to accomplish. Now, in terms of documenting our system, we're going to start off with our as-is system. This is the way the system works today. And one of the things that we've seen quite often is that since people don't have their system currently documented, as we start going through the process, there'll be a discussion among people about, well, maybe we don't really do it that way, or we don't do it that way all the time, or we don't do that in New York, where we do it in Chicago a different way, and in Los Angeles a different way still again. And so people start to fine tune the as-is system. And that's okay, but just doing the documentation of the as-is system will give you business improvement, because you'll start to think about why you're doing things and how you're doing them, and you'll do them quite a bit better. But the first time through is really just establishing the baseline. You're still going to look at it and say, nah, that's not really very good. How do you make it better? Well, we use something called business improvement opportunities. And business improvement opportunities are ways that you can fine-tune your system. Now, look at it in terms of fine-tuning as opposed to throwing it all out and starting over again, which is what a lot of people do. Where do you get these business improvement opportunities? Well, you might try a mastermind. Get a mastermind group and have people that you work with and that you trust give you ideas about how you could improve your business. You might hire a mentor who has been where you want to go and will give you some ideas that he has picked up in earlier client engagements or his or her own experience. And you can put those on your list of candidate business improvement opportunities. You can look at things on articles on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Google. What are other people saying? There are a lot of books about how to improve your business. Some are good, some are just a rehash of others. So you have to be selective in who you're going to follow. Some of the people that I follow that I really enjoy reading are Simon Sinek and Seth Godin. I think that they just have some really great ideas. And then there are some local consultants that I learn from all the time. People like Diana Needham and Elizabeth Galperin that we mentioned on the first page, Megan Huber. There are a lot of really bright people around that can give you ideas that you can put into your business improvement opportunities. We then have a list, maybe 8 or 10 items long, and we go through and say, okay, which ones of those look like they'll have the best return on the investment for me? My investment is going to be my time. And I don't have a lot of spare time, so I need to get the one that's going to take the least amount of time and give me the best reward. And I'm going to take that business improvement opportunity and redo my activities list so that I have the right way to fine-tune the system. And then we'll go through the process again. Maybe the second time we'll do the same business improvement opportunity, but do it better. Or we may pick up a different one. And then we need to implement our system. And implementing our system includes things like skill development. If I'm going to be the person who's responsible for executing it, do I have the skill set to be successful? Do I know what other people in the industry are doing? Have I read the books on the techniques to use? And a lot of people don't think that they need to learn anymore. I find that I need to read a book a week or so just to stay even. And I also have to talk to a lot of people that are smarter than I am so that I can improve my skill set every day. So we want to be we want our activities to be detailed. We need to take that high level list and break it down into detailed steps, and we need to be proactive. One of the things about systems is that there's always something called a trigger event. A trigger event is something that starts the system wheels turning. And so a trigger event might be, if you're in a retail establishment, a trigger event might be when somebody walks through the front door, or if you're in a restaurant, somebody walks through the front door. What do you do from that point onward? But you need to add another activity that you can trigger that will cause people to walk through the front door. Or if you are going to invite somebody to a community, then you need to, sorry, you should always turn off your cell phone before you do a video. You need to make sure that you have the step that is going to cause you to trigger the event. And so these trigger events have to be proactive so that you can cause things to happen. And I'll give you an example of that in just a minute. But for each activity, we need to understand who's going to do that activity. And the who that's going to do that activity, since we're dealing mostly with solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, is going to be me. I'm going to do those activities. And we need to be very detailed about what we're going to do and how we're going to keep score. If you're going to delegate that activity, maybe it's building a new website and you're not going to do that yourself, or getting somebody to post on Facebook or LinkedIn for you, and you're not going to get them to, you're not going to do do those activities yourself. You need to explain to them what the desired result is, why it's important, and exactly what you want them to do. So as you look at the implementation, you need to go through a very simple exercise of what do we need to do, who needs to do it, what are the detailed activities, and how are we going to keep score. And finally, once we've gone through this cycle, we need to do it again. It's called continuous improvement. And the continuous improvement process will have you take a periodic look at the results that you're getting. Are you getting the improvement that you expected? How often should you do this? Well, we start off with once a month and to go to once a quarter, and determine, do we need to make fine-tuning changes or continuous improvement changes at this point, or do we want to let the system run for 6 months or a year and then do all of the changes at the end? You don't want to be fine-tuning the system every day or every week, because you won't get enough scores on your scorecard to determine whether it's really a valid result or not. But you do need to continuously improve and figure out which systems you want to improve and which systems you want to replace. So those are the key points of what is the system and why I should care. And that kind of wraps up what we're going to first event. If this resonates with you, and you think you need to know more about systems because you think that your business can really explode by implementing a systems-based approach, we're starting an 8-week boot camp on systems starting mid-February, and it runs for 8 weeks. There'll be a different topic each week, and we'll go into detail on how to implement business systems for each of those areas. If you are interested in asking questions or learning more about the boot camp or anything else, you can go to our website, moneymountainsystems.com, and get our contact information and contact any of us. You can contact me or Liz or Janet, and just ask questions about the workshop or the systems concept and how we might be able to help you significantly grow your business. So that's it for this week. We'll see you next Wednesday at 12:30. Hope you have a great week.